Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, and comment, join the family. And yes, let's get right into it. If you missed the part one, I will put a little link at the top so you guys can click on it. This is actually a part two of perfumes or fragrances that I will not be repurchasing a full-size bottle of, because I do have the travel sizes and samples that I want to talk with you guys about. This is more gourmandish, okay? So these fragrances, I know I am going to get probably a lot of for, but like I said in the first video, this is not a video to bash any fragrances or talk down upon them or say that I dislike them. It's just not a preference. They don't appeal to me in a way, or I just found alternatives, etc. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. The first one up we are going to talk about is Vanilla Woods. Now, this fragrance, let me pull up the notes. This is by the 7 Virtues, and this is Vanilla Woods. This fragrance is basically your typical vanilla and woody fragrance. Now, when I first smelled this, I was like, wow, that smells so good. It just drew me in. Immediately it drew me in. But when I started to smell it over time, I was like, it smells good, but it's just so basic. And then the vanilla kind of comes off a little synthetic to me. And then the woods kicking in right behind it start to get more prominent, and the vanilla fades off a little bit. They try to stay like neck and neck, but like I say, the vanilla is more of a synthetic type of vanilla, so it didn't really appeal to me. And it's a consistent smell. You get a little bit of the pear in the opening. There's a little hint of rose in there, and it dries down to a vanilla, caramel, and amber base. So when it dries down, I still get some of the woodiness in there. I'm not seeing any notes of wood, but it's called Vanilla Woods, right? And it just gives off that vibe. So I'm assuming that it could be the caramel and amber giving off that vibe, that more woody vibe, but it's not listed in the notes. The pear is a little prominent there. It kind of dances along with the synthetic vanilla. And then the other notes start to kick in that are in the background, which is the vanilla, caramel, and amber. The vanilla is there from the jump. The caramel, I slightly smell, and so is the amber. They're kind of like in the background. So you get more of pear, vanilla, and like I said, a certain type of woodiness that's there that, I don't know, it's just basic. It's not bad. I think after smelling it so much, I think it's more so like I said, the synthetic part that throws me off. But nonetheless, it is a great fragrance. But once I finish my decan, I most likely probably won't purchase a bigger size or a full bottle, because I've smelled other vanillas that had a kick to them and was like mixed in with other things, with other notes that really stood out to me. So this won't be one that I will be purchasing a full-size bottle of. Next up, we have Dolce Gabbana, The Only One. Now, this fragrance is beautiful, super beautiful. I don't dislike it. Caramel seduction. Real warm and inviting. It has this caramel note that wraps around you and warms you. So this is like perfect for fall, winter. It took me a few tries to like this. I don't know if it was because of the prominent outburst when you first smell it of the caramel. But once it dried down, and like I said, I gave this about, I want to say 3 tries. I kept going back and forth to the store. And I was like, I have to like this because I'm seeing so many people saying it's good, and they smell this and they smell, that. It's caramel, sweet, powdery, vanilla, violet, coffee, warm, spicy, citrus, iris, and fruity. So in your top notes, you have violet, orange, and bergamot, and then it comes into this coffee, pear, iris, orange blossom, and rose, and then the base notes are caramel, vanilla, and patchouli. I really feel like the coffee note is not so prominent, but it's there. It dances around in the background along with that pear. I get the orange blossom and a little slight rose. And yes, the dry down is very gourmand. It's the caramel, vanilla, and a little patchouli that I smell. Once I started to actually like it, I smelled the intense version. And the Dolce & Gabbana Intense, the only one intense, blew me away off of first sniff. I bought a full-size bottle and I never looked back. Now, I still will use this, but the Intense had such a beautiful gourmand smell. It's like this, but amplified with a little bit more added. I was like, I'm not looking back. And I didn't. So yes. Next fragrance that I have is Black Opium. Now, Black Opium is really nice. I love the way it smells, but it didn't last on me. I also have another decan. This one came in, I want to say, a roller. The travel size came in a roller ball, and I was like, but this is beautiful. It's like that classic coffee, vanilla, slightly woody. It's just very, and it smells like coffee bean, not just coffee. It has like this coffee bean type of smell to it. And the coffee just dances around and fades into this beautiful vanilla, slightly woody kind of scent. But it doesn't last on me. So when I sprayed it on my skin and my clothes, after a few hours, I couldn't even smell it anymore. It just faded away. So I tried to smell the Intense, and the Intense was a little too coffee for me. And I was like, I don't really like that one. It had a strong dominant coffee outbreak in the beginning, whereas Black Opium was more subtle, and it gave you coffee and vanilla bean and vanilla and woody. Yeah, it didn't last. It didn't give me that vibe that I was looking for. So even though it smells really good, I don't feel like it lasts for a long time. And then I discovered Montel's Intense Cafe, and that blew me out. So I was like, I don't really need a full bottle of this. But nonetheless, it really does smell good. Now, this is the one. I know you guys are all going to be like, what? No, that smells good. You're tripping. I read a review, and I probably shouldn't have read the review, and I can't get it out of my head. Love by Kilian. Don't be shy. I know. Okay. Now, this is one of the niche that I was speaking of in part one. I get grape syrup, like Diamond Tap Medicine. I don't know. I don't see the joy in it. I smell a little bit of marshmallow, and I love marshmallow scents, but I don't know what it is. It's like, once I read that review, I can't get grape syrup, the Diamond Tap grape syrup smell out of my head. It just smells syrupy and grape. And then I tried this like 3 times, that you guys can see. I have been trying to work with this. It's down to here now, but I can't get that smell out of my head. And the marshmallow must not be, it's prominent, but it doesn't have, I feel like it's missing some notes. The best way I can describe this is just a sweet, grapey marshmallow scent. Slightly vanilla, but I can't catch nothing else. And then I may have been a little nose blind to this, because I feel like this doesn't last on me as well either. So I was just like, for this to be a niche fragrance, I expected more. And for the price tag, I want something that's going to last on me all day. I want others to smell it. If I want a skin scent, I'm not going to spend that high of a price tag unless I'm so in love with the notes that I don't care how much it costs. I just got to have it on my skin. But this kind of did not project as much to me, and then it didn't last that long. I don't even know where the CI went. And I overspray. Like, I literally sprayed all on my arms, all on my, like 2 on my chest, 4 here, 4 here, behind the ear. And I was just like, not thrilled by the longevity and its projection. It was just kind of like, but if you do like grape, because I don't even think grape is listed as a note. Let's look it up really quick. I don't think grape is listed as a note, but that's what I get from this. I don't know where the grape is coming from, but because it's not listed as a note. Maybe the iris in it, or the, I want to say the neroli, but yeah, it's just, it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, not the price tag worth doing. So it's going to have to be a hard pass because I'm trying to grow to like it. Not to purchase a full bottle, but just to appreciate the fragrance. And I do appreciate it, but I just can't get the grape syrupy smell out of my head with slight marshmallow. And it doesn't transform, it doesn't fade, it doesn't go into anything else. I don't smell anything else but that. So I feel like with all the notes that are listed, I must be nose blind because I can't get anything else past that. Now, the next two that I want to discuss with you guys is two more niche fragrances. I do have small decant samples of them from Lucky Scents. The first one I want to discuss with you guys is Nishane Annie. Now, Nishane Annie is such a beautiful, beautiful vanilla fragrance in the dry down. In the opening, no one, and I repeat, I barely see anyone discussing how powerful the ginger note is in the opening. It is prominent. It's there. It's like I have arrived. Now, don't get me wrong. Green notes and vanilla tend to be a very love for me. I do love a nice, earthy, kind of like green, because it ties in with the vanilla so beautifully. And I do appreciate a green vanilla. But this is more of a oriental spicy vanilla that just grabs you in the first spray. And then you're trying to fight past the ginger that is so prominent that by the time you get down to the vanilla is so pleasantly bomb. It's like the most gourmandish, purest smelling vanilla. It does not smell synthetic by any means. But the ginger is still lingering. Don't think that the ginger is just in the opening and you're not going to get a ginger smell anymore. The ginger still lingers, but one thing I love about the ginger and how it lingers is it's in the background and the vanilla tries to take a step forward. But by then, you're already so out of it from the ginger being so strong in the beginning that by the time you get to the vanilla, you're just so happy. But for my nose to fight my sensories to go flare up that much just to get to a vanilla smelling that good, I don't know. I don't think I can buy a full bottle because the bottle is very expensive. Like I say, and let's just talk about the longevity. The longevity is bomb. It's 8 to 10 hours. Okay, probably 10 hours plus. I sprayed it on my skin, fell asleep, and still smelled it in the morning. But the ginger wasn't as prominent, but it was still there. It was slight. It was in the background. The vanilla took a step up. It's more of, to me, it's more of a colder vanilla. It's not warm. It doesn't make you want to snuggle up. It's not that. It smells good, but it's a very green vanilla. And like I say, it's spicy in the beginning. It's very spicy. But to me, it's a green vanilla because it gives you a more like fresh, kind of cold hint of vanilla, but the vanilla smells super good. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be purchasing a big bottle of it. And I really, really wanted to love that one because I was trying to expand more of my vanilla fragrances, or more prominent vanillas, but it's okay. I can't say I won't buy a full bottle because now that I'm thinking about it, I do love that vanilla. But like I said at the beginning, the ginger is just such a kick. And then you're waiting for the vanilla to come through, and it's just like, is it worth it? Is it worth the price tag? Because no one talks about that at Opium. Like, when I was hearing Nishane Annie, I was like, oh, I gotta smell this vanilla. And it slapped me in the face. I was like, oh, this is nasty. But then I was like, let it dry down. Because the vanilla gotta be worth it with this kick of an opening. Moving right along. Indult Tihata. Is it Tihata or Tihata? This is by far one of the niche fragrances that is deemed top of the line or queen or king, depending on who's reviewing it, vanilla fragrance out there. And for the price tag, you would agree. When I purchased the sample of this one, I don't smell anything. I don't know if I'm nose blind. It's just not there. And the weirdest thing happens. When I put it on my skin, I kept smelling a slight sillage through the night. And then when I would hurry up and run to I'd put it right here. Hurry up and run to my arm to smell it, and there's nothing there. So I'm just getting these whiffs of vanilla, and I'm like, where is this vanilla coming from? Well, I know where it's coming from. I'm like, why does it have like a nice sillage? And it is the most beautiful vanilla when I can smell it. And it wasn't strong. It kind of stayed closer to the skin. Even on first initial application, it just stayed to the skin. But then as it dried into my skin and kind of like, I guess, settled, I started to get whiffs. And then when I would go to where I placed it on my skin, like where it's coming from, I wouldn't smell nothing. And I thought, that's strange. I am so nose blind to Tihata. I don't know what's wrong. And I wanted to enjoy the luxury of what everyone else smells, because there's plenty of reviews talking about how strong. I've even seen reviews where people say it's too strong or too sweet for them. And it's almost like on the market, I've heard it's one of the most purest vanillas you can get, with slight hints in the background, trickling like slight wood but just notes lingering, not prominent. It's more so the vanilla is the star of the show. So it's like a pure vanilla, like cooking vanilla smell. But like I said, I'm nose blind to it, unfortunately. And it saddens me because I really wanted to experience that. So I will not be buying a full bottle of that. Maybe if it was a lot cheaper, or I find a nice decant where I can keep playing and testing the notes, I definitely will do that. But to just make a big purchase like that in hopes of ever smelling the love that everyone else smells, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pass. Sadly, because I've heard so many good things about this one, and I just become absolutely blind to it. So yeah, I unfortunately I can't buy it. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video or do have any of these fragrances that are staples or signatures for you, please leave a comment as to why you like them, what you like about them, and what notes stand out to you. Also, if you are nose blind like I am to any of these fragrances mentioned, please leave a comment. I would love to hear you guys' feedback. And until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.